If you had to ask me today, what will be your next car, I would hands down say the RX-7. I mean, she is so darn beautiful. The only thing I don't like about the RX-7 is the motor. Once again, everyone has got their own personal preferences. The RX-7 over here comes out with a 12A rotary motor. Yes, you heard it right, rotary. It is not the same as the piston engines that everyone knows about. Technically, this engine has got two triangles inside the motor turning around a crankshaft, playing a similar role than the piston. These motors, they love to rev up to very high RPMs. The only problem with them is maintenance. These motors are so maintenance hungry. But anyway, the motor found in this Mazda RX-7 is the 12A motor. The 12 meaning 1.2 liter. That is correct. This little engines found in these RX-7 are capable of so much power. It's just still the maintenance. My opinion remains the same. But nevertheless, we did an engine conversion on this RX-7 and we are running a 4-liter, not 4-liter, a 4-rotor motor. I'm gonna get used to the difference in these word terms. If we have to go back and we are going to quickly rush to the upgrades and tuning, I'm going to show you guys what I have done. Oh, there it is, the pop-up lights. Let's quickly just say abandon setup. Okay, let's go back in. I just want to, oh, those lights. Anyway, sorry guys, this is probably the reason why I love the RX-7s. So let's quickly go to conversion. And right over here, the engine conversion, as you guys can see, it's a 2.6 liter 4 rotor. So it's got 4 rotors inside the 4 triangular parts that I was talking about, which is technically double the engine size, which would have actually made it a 2.4 liter, but it's got an extra 200cc capacity. So then we also have other ones we can choose from, like the V8 and the inline 16 liter inline 4, sorry, but I decided to go with the rotary. The bad thing about this game is that you can't turbo them. What the heck? But nevertheless, they are still very powerful. So for the drivetrain, we are still running rear wheel drive. We did not go all wheel drive. So let's quickly go here to the engine parts. There's actually only one thing we can upgrade, and it's the restrictor plate. As you guys can see here, that's the only upgrade, but it did give quite a lot of power. So anyway, oh yeah, before we continue, let me quickly show you guys how much power this thing really has. It has 535 kilowatt, 632 newton meters of torque, and it weighs about 1.70 kilograms, 1.70 tons. Yeah, 1,070 kilograms. One thing you need to know about rotary motors is that they do not have as much torque as piston motors. Yes, obviously when you go to the extreme, 632 newton meters is still a lot of torque. Compared to like a V8 with 535 kilowatt, the torque will be like over 1,000 depending on engine to engine. Let's quickly continue. So I'm just going to explain everything to you guys. I put the brakes all the way at max. For the spring dampers, I actually tried two the shocks. I tried the racing one and the rally one, and it turns out the car really likes the rally shocks more. It feels to me like it's kind of a glitch in the game where the rally is better than the race. Anyway, so for the front anti-roll bars, we have upgraded both of them to max. We don't have any roll cage, and for the weight reduction, we took the biggest installation to reduce the weight as much as possible. For the drivetrain, we took our biggest clutch we could find, and flywheel most probably as well. So for the transmission, we went with the race transmission. For the driveline, we went the race driveline. And for the differential, we also remained on the race diff. Going over to the wheels, the front wheels, we actually kept on its smallest, as you guys can see, stock. For the compound, it's actually, where is it, slicks. And for the rear tire, we want the fattest babies here we can find. And then after that, mags, you can choose whichever one you want. Just make sure they weigh the less. Some mags, if you do go on them, they say -5 kilograms, -11. I think this one I took -11, which was the lowest. For the rim size, I'm really not bothered too much. One of the reasons why is if I go over here and I put on a bigger wheel, a bigger mag size, it actually adds to weight. Yes, it looks better, but we are trying to go fast. And then for the track width, the tire width, as you guys can see, I did not install the biggest one. The ones I just trying to technically like find one that was flush. And yeah, I know the wheel is camber. I'll explain to you guys why I did that now. So let's go all the way out. This is the aerodynamics. You can install whichever part you like. I just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna buff this car up a bit. Okay, so now that that is done, we're gonna go to the tuning, custom tuning. So we actually took the front tire pressure all the way to max. The reason for doing this is because this wheel is only gonna rotate. There's no power going to it whatsoever. So the higher the pressure is, the more it's gonna help us with the top end, some stability. It's just less drag. So for the rear tires, we need grip. This car doesn't have grip because it's putting 500 plus kilowatts on the rear wheels. We're gonna keep this one as low as possible. So for the gearing, you guys can take a screenshot, pause this video, and you can do all your thingy-mabobs. Going over to alignment, this is where I took my front camber all the way to 5. Yes, I might have over-exaggerated a bit. It wasn't needed to go that much. Technically, what I'm trying to accomplish here is not running the wheel flat. We're trying to run the wheel on the side. Technically, we want a bicycle wheel in the front. Reason for that is if the wheel is flat, it's going to add to drag and it's going to cause you to go a bit slower. And then for the rear, we've got a positive 0.4. What's going to happen is as soon as the power goes to the rear end, it's actually going to minus the camber because obviously the weight's going to go to the back. It's going to press down on the rear differential. The suspension is going to move down and etc. and etc. This should be a little bit more. It should be around 0.7. But I just found 0.4 gives me a better constant time. So yes, going over here, we got 0, 0, and max that out. For the anti-roll bars, I put all of them at max. And for the springs, the front end is a little bit softer than the rear end. As you guys might have noticed, usually with me, this circle is more towards the stiff side. I just noticed that this car likes to spin. With the launch, it will actually have traction. But as soon as the RPMs climbs, it spins out. So making it a bit softer allows your rear end to go down a little bit further, which will obviously result in more weight at the back, helping with grip. Because yeah, the wheels can be pressed tighter to the road. Going over to our ride height, we actually want our front end to be very low and our rear end to be a little bit higher. Reason for doing this is because this car likes to pop wheelies as well. So having the rear end higher a bit, it's countering the wheelie. So this is good because we want to know that the car can pop a wheelie, but we don't want to pop a wheelie. We just want to fly. Just take like, what is that guy called? Flash from Marvel. I think it's Marvel. Please don't hate me, guys. Going over to damper, my front is soft and my rear over here, my bump stiffness is soft, and then the front is stiffer and the rear over here is stiffer. They're gonna play vice versa. That's how you find the best results. For the aerodynamics, I've got nothing. If you do have something, take it all the way to the bottom. Maybe the rear end you can, nah, it's not needed. You can decide as you want to. Over here for the brakes, I don't really care. We're gonna ram into walls and die like real men. Anyway, then from here we got our acceleration at 100%. So here in the bottom left corner you'll see these numbers. Even though yours can be better, it doesn't really necessarily mean that when you do drive it will actually be better. This really helps us out of traction by having a little bit of a longer first gear. I mean, if we have to drag this thing all the way to a short gear, it might be faster, but you won't have traction. You will just be standing and spinning. Okay, so let's quickly head to the track. Oh wow, look at that body kit. No, I'm kidding, that's a Lambo. Okay, so let's quickly just go over here. And here we are. So what I did was I actually enabled my clutch, because in that way we can get a proper launch at a certain RPM. So how it works is we are going to hold in handbrake, we are going to accelerate. The RPMs is going to climb up to wherever and it's going to slowly drop. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the clutch to get our proper launch RPM by just clicking it and holding it in. So let's go. It's dropping, that's what we want to see. So we're going to click the clutch until about 6,000 RPMs, then we're going to hold it in. Perfect, and we are going to drop clutch and handbrake. And there we go, that was 255 kilometers per hour. And yes, this time I used my clutch all the way through. This is such a great tune, and if we do maybe heat up the wheels a little bit more, we can maybe launch at 7,000 RPMs. Let's try that out. Okay, that should be enough. Let's quickly just make a straight. Let's quickly try 7,000 RPM launch. That was such a good launch. The only problem was I forgot to press clutch. I'm still not so used to it. Let's quickly try it again with some burnouts and then obviously a 7,000 RPM launch. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was a 254 kilometers per hour. So it looks like a 6,000 RPM launch is excellent. So let's quickly go all the way and do a drag race for the end of this video. So for this drag race, I want to tell you guys, obviously we can't use launch control. So it's going to be like a flat out launch. The car is going to spin. So what you want to do is you actually want to go into your tuned car, make your first gear longer until it doesn't spin. For this video, I am not going to do it. We are just going to jump into it and have an awesome race. Did you guys hear my honk? It is so difficult. 16.132. That is bad. I had low 16s before. But anyway, it is so difficult to try to press clutch, accelerate, change gear, hold the camera still. I accidentally pressed Hootser as well. Honk it up, everyone. Anyway, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to drop a big like. If you love to support the channel, especially if you're new, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right. And then I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out.